everyone, it's Amry. It's an awesome day in northern Arizona, and today I am going to be showing you how I've been working with these young guys and how I have been making them gentle and well-rounded. And then stay tuned because we have name announcements at the end of this video. Okay, so before we get started, I do want to point out that I think my nose is looking much better. I definitely learned my lesson not to be diving into pools anymore. So thank you guys for all the kind words. I'm glad it's healing well, and I'm glad it wasn't worse. So besides that, I have been working with these young guys for the past couple days, just making them gentle. Our ultimate goal is to get these halters off as soon as possible, but I need them to be gentle enough that we can walk up and halter them no problem. And I just want them to be gentle enough that we can touch them everywhere and do little things like that. In case something happens, we need to throw them in the trailer and take them somewhere. We need to pick up a foot and get something out of it. You know, I know that some people might think that this could be a lot for young horses, but you know, eventually in a couple years, they're going to have to know how to do all these things. And it's going to be a lot easier for me to do this training when they're this young, and it's going to be a lot easier for them to accept this kind of training when they're young. They're just like little kids, and they're sponges, and they're going to take everything in so well, so it's so much better to do it when they're this age rather than waiting till they're older and kind of set in their ways already. So today we are on day 4. I'm going to take you guys back and show you some clips I filmed of myself the last couple days working with them so you can see that process also. But stay tuned because by the end of this video, I'm going to be announcing the new names for these little babies. The Bay Filly is not going to be named. I appreciate all the suggestions, but our neighbor decided he wants to let his grandkids pick her name, so he's giving them first shot. We definitely gave them all the suggestions, and we loved hearing that, and thank you guys for your participation. So we do have names picked out for these 2 little roan stud colts that you guys suggested and picked. It was ultimately my dad's decision, but we appreciated everyone's suggestions. So by the end of this video, I'm going to let you know what the roan stud colts names are. Hi everyone. Day 2 with the babies being home, and they've gotten gentle enough that when they're sitting here by the feed, I can rub their faces. This is where I like to start, so just get them gentle enough so they like this kind of stuff. Hopefully soon I'll be able to rub them everywhere, and then pretty soon we'll be getting started in the round pen doing some other work with them. Okay, day 3 with the little babies. I'll show you what I've got going on today. So I'm working with one at a time off, you know, just have their halter out, and they're getting really good about me coming up and petting their faces. So today I'm mostly working on, and they're getting better about this, letting me move down the body and pet them further down the body and kind of touch them everywhere. And then I've got these guys somewhat tied up, but not really, because it's just looped around, so if they really wanted to get loose they could, but they've got lots of room to move around, and this will give a little bit because it's on that circle thing, so if they really want to they could get loose. I don't want to teach them it's okay to get loose, but I don't want them to get hurt either. They're getting really gentle really fast. It's awesome. So I've just got these 2 guys somewhat tied up while I'm working the other one. So let me kind of set the phone up a little bit and show you what I'm doing with this red roan that remains nameless, but I have a name in mind. Hopefully soon I'll have a name to announce to you guys. So first of all, they don't know how to lead yet. I have been giving him some grain, so he's kind of liking me more, but what I'll do is if I need him to kind of come, I go at an angle and just kind of try to pull him off balance. See, I can kind of get him to move a little bit, and then there, that's all I need. Sailor thinks he's helping, but he's just desensitizing them. And then I'll go this way. There we go. See, that's how I kind of get them to start leading, is just going zigzagging back and forth. And if I go this way a little, I can kind of pull them again. There we go. Good boy. Just for little baby steps at a time. We've got an audience back there. They're very entertained. Good boy. Okay, so let me set the camera up a little bit so I can show you what I'm doing with this guy. Okay, so I'm just going to start right here by taking my hand on the top line of his body. I'm not going to go straight for the legs or the underbelly right away. I'm going to start on the top, and this colt wants to move around a little bit more. That's okay, I'll just stay with him. I'm going to really get into these scratches, and anytime that he moves, I'm just going to follow him around and keep rubbing on him. These babies will really come on to you fast if you just give them a few cookies here and there and give them lots of good lovin's and scratches. So I'm just spending like 15 minutes with them now and really rubbing on them and scratching them everywhere. I give him kisses because that's my favorite thing. But just follow him around till he'll stand still, and then get up over here and give him some good scratches. He's gonna like that lots, huh? They're gonna get so gentle so fast. Okay, now we'll do some work with the other colt, getting him gentle and used to me touching him everywhere. That's the main goal. I just want to be able to touch him everywhere and kind of help make him more gentle. Another little tip I was going to tell you about, I do always try to let them smell me before I go to rubbing, just so they know I'm coming. They're still young. I still smell new to them, so I'll let them smell me and then I'll go to rubbing on them. Okay, so same thing with this colt. I'm just going to start rubbing, starting at the top line. If he wants to move around, that's okay. I'll stay in position and then just ask that if he wants to move around, he moves around in circles around me. Once I get him to kind of stand still, I'll step back and give him a little bit of a release for a good job. Okay, there was a really cool thing that happened here, and that is that this colt was kind of being itchy on his own. So I'm going to watch where he's scratching, and then I'm going to take advantage of that and go scratch him in that same spot, because obviously it's a little itchy right now. I am going to hold his nose out of the way a little bit, just because sometimes they get a little nippy or might want to rub on you, and I don't want him to bite me or anything like that. But I was taking advantage of seeing where he already had itchy spots and then trying to go rub him right there. So I did mention that I was sticking to the top line, but this guy was showing me some different signs and letting me move a little faster, and he was really getting into these belly rubs. You see him sticking his head out, his neck out. He is like, oh yeah, Amry, that is the spot. So I was just taking advantage of that. I was letting him tell me where he wanted to be rubbed, and he really liked it, and this is just going to make him grow fond of me. Loving this stuff. Okay, that would wrap up today for day 3 with these babies. They're getting so gentle so fast. Show you my fingertips. They're so dirty because what I'm doing is I'm just being the best scratching tool these colts have ever had. So I'm just taking my hands, and this colt wants to move a little bit more, which is okay. I'll just keep rubbing him till he wants to stand still and just give him some really good scratches. And then they're going to learn that I'm the best scratching tool there is, and they're going to love me. So that's why my fingertips are so dirty. I'll turn the camera around and show you a little bit. They really like the top of their bums too. They really rub right there for them. See, he's like, oh yeah, that's the spot, Amry. Licking the lips a little bit. All good signs. And just in a day, I'm able to touch them all over their body using this method. Oh yeah. So if your hands look like this after you're done working with them, you're doing it the right way. Huh, buddy? If they're falling asleep after you've done something like this, you're doing it right. He's like, that was awesome, Amry. Good boy. Oh yeah, you love that. I spent about 15 minutes with each of them. It was enough to give them a good mental workout, if not just, it wasn't a physical workout, and they're getting a drink, digesting. I love this stuff. I'm not saying I don't use treats, because I do have a bucket of grain I'm going to reward them with that I left over here, but I just don't want horses that are only motivated by food, because they can kind of become dominant and pushy. These colts will get nippy if you're only using food. I want my horses to like me for me, and that's because of my hands, and I can give them good scratches as rewards. Okay, so day 4 again. Got these guys all somewhat tied up in different spots. It's good for them to be a little separated and to learn to stand still. But I don't tie it up fully. I just have it looped around, so that way if they really got to pull in, it would come undone. It's not super secure, but it's tight enough that they're not going to learn to break the lead rope or anything like that, because you don't want them learning that bad habit. So we've got all these guys in different spots, and then I'm going to go ahead and work with them like I did yesterday, touching them all over and getting them used to that. There you go. See, he's kind of teaching himself he can have release when he comes forward. Good boy. Alright, this is day 4, doing a lot of the same things as day 3, but the difference with today is I am going to start moving down the legs and kind of getting in the crooks and crannies, kind of in his flanks areas and stuff. Just making sure he's all okay with that. He's doing super good, letting me go down all his legs, and even checking out Milo and getting used to him. Okay, now honestly, that's it for today. He has gotten so gentle so fast. I just wanted to rub on him a little bit and love on him, and I think that he's really starting to like it. So the other thing I did want to point out is this tying method only works if you have round bars, because then it allows it to slip. You can't really do it if they're square. Just so you know. Okay, your turn to stand tied. He's having a little baby tantrum. But that's okay. It's a lot easier to work this stuff out when you're young than when you're a 3-year-old and you've never been tied up. Is this just so hard? Now this one is being a little feisty right now. He's not wanting to stand still, so I'm not going to give him a reward by untying him until he does stand still. So we're just going to sit here and wait till he wants to stand still, and then he can be rewarded. We got Mr. Cool, Calm Cucumber, and then Mr. Feisty Boy over here. He's just not having it. And that guy's falling asleep. Okay, it wasn't much. He's being a little feisty, but he stood still for like 30 whole seconds. So Whoa, you pushed my phone out of the hand. We are going to take that as a win and get to work with him, and maybe he just needs to do something because he wants a job right now. Well, standing still is a little hard for this little guy. All right, time to work with the red roan. So he does want to move around a little bit more, and that's okay. I'll just keep following him. Actually, right here, he just showed me that he does have an itchy spot, so I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of that. This is the first time he's kind of showed me signs where maybe he'd like my help. Okay, I did want to point out that a lot of these times they're kicking up. It's not at me, it's at the flies. So I'm just aware of that, and I realize that he's just kind of irritated with the flies right now. But I'm super happy with how he's letting me move along, and he's letting me go down his legs. I'm going to go ahead and try to touch him everywhere I can. Sometimes what I'm doing is pretending like I'm giving them little baby massages, and who would not like someone that comes and gives you massages all the time? Again, your fingers should look like this when you get done. That's how you know you got the goods out of them. Yeah, you like that, huh? That felt so good, huh? Okay, just had a short little 5, maybe 10-minute sesh with this guy too. And that's gonna be it for today. They're coming along so fast. They're loving my hands on their body, which is my goal, to get them gentle. Just get my hands all over their body, get them to really like that and appreciate it. I'm gonna go ahead and tie this guy back up and leave them tied for maybe 10 or 15 more minutes, and then they're all done for today. The awesome part too is I haven't really taught them to lead, but the more they like me, the more they're willing to follow. And if they get stuck like this, I'll just kind of go to the side. There you go. Get him unstuck. See how many steps I can go. And then if he gets stuck again, I'll just turn him again and kind of go this way. Good boy. You did so good today. You're a champ. Okay, that wraps it up for today with these little guys. They're just gonna stand tied for a few minutes. This guy's a little spicy, huh? They did good. So a quick little note before we get to their names. I did want to just fill you guys in a little bit. The registered names are done by the ranch and then sent into AQHA, and they can give them the top 3 choices. They register over 400 colts, so it does take a while to get those back, but we're not in charge of giving them their registered names. So we were just asking for barn names. I guess I should have made that more clear. Feisty boy, for sure. But thank you so much for all the suggestions. We really appreciated that. Okay, so now for their names. This guy right here, the bay roan, the lighter one, his name is going to be Sully. We liked the idea of Mike and Sully from Monsters, Inc. My dad's name is Mike, so we couldn't really go with that, but we got Sully, and then also Sully is the Avatar character, Jake Sully, so we liked that. So his name is going to be Sully. Okay, and for this guy, we had a name in mind, but he just keeps showing me that he wants a different name. So his name is going to be Wasabi. I kind of liked that idea. He is definitely a little spicy and feisty, so I think it suits him very well. So now that our colts have official names, it's going to be so fun to show you guys their journeys, see how they do and how they progress. So we've got Sully and Wasabi. You're so feisty. Don't pull back. Come on. Okay, and the other reason his name has to be Wasabi is that then we're going to have Sully and Mike Wazowski, but Mike Wasabi. But we won't call him Mike, we'll just call him Wasabi. So we got Sully and Mike Wasabi, the feisty one. Okay, that wraps up our colt working sesh today. Hope you guys enjoyed these training tips and how I gentle my colts. Thank you so much for helping us pick out names. We've got Sully and Wasabi. Definitely suits him because he's a little feisty. So if you're not already, make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and make sure to stay up to date with all these colt starting videos. I'm so excited to show you guys the progress. Thank you so much for coming along. Just imagine how much worse he'd be if we didn't get started this young. That's why it's good to let him get all these tantrums out while he's young and not too big and strong to hurt anyone else or himself. Because Wasabi's got some feisty things to work out of his system.